Thanks for checking out my micro drawings channel. Today I'm drawing Spaceman Spiff from Calvin and Hobbes, starting with a quarter and the pencil and my Copic 0.03 multi-liner black pen. There you can get an idea of how small that is. And as usual, I'm starting with a facial feature. There I've got the nose of Spaceman Spiff, and from that I'm adding I suppose trapezoidal space goggles onto him. So I'm coloring the black part of that in. And then from there, I'm just extending up a little bit with his forehead. And there his cheek. And there bringing his mouth around. And he's pretty small, so I'm unable to add quite as many teeth as Bill Watterson's original, but I get quite a few in there. And there I'm working on his hand that's holding the laser gun and adding the little details of that. And his skinny little arm, just bringing that line parallel to the top one. And continuing to work on the fingers holding the gun and the pointer part of the deadly weapon. Again, thanks for checking out this micro drawings video. Please subscribe and share to get future updates of other characters, other subjects that I'm drawing. And there I was fixing up the space goggles a little bit. There I'm continuing to work on his shoulders, his space suit. And there I'm drawing the ear and the bows of the glasses. And then bringing his body down and his belt getting added now. And he doesn't have much for legs. You've probably noticed that. Calvin wears a shirt and he's got these teeny little legs and shoes, or space boots in this case. And then adding on the hair, so working around, getting those spikes in there. Trying to lightly go from, his head out so that the hair, gets thinner, like a real piece of hair, but kind of tough to do that sometimes. I got to make sure I'm putting very light pressure on that pen. All right, there I was adding the second arm, so the arm behind that front arm, just the illusion of it a little bit. And there's a quarter for scale. And pencil for scale as well. You can see that eraser would cover up his head for sure. Some of his body. There's my Copic sketch marker. And then I did also bring the Micron. Usually I'm just using the Copic sketch markers. In this case, that gun is so tiny, I had to use a couple microns on it too. The red for the very point of the gun, the front part of the gun, and then purple for part of the gun as well. So there's that little red dot at the end. And there's a quarter for reference again. So you can see Calvin, his feet, if you put that at the bottom of George Washington's chin, his head is at the top of George Washington's head. So if you do have a quarter, if you take that out and take a look at it and get an idea. I know it's there on the screen for scale, but it's still hard to get the actual size of it if you're not seeing it in person. And then here I'm bringing in the cotton pearl, which is the skin tone that I use for Calvin. And I'm working with the fine tip right up to the black lines, a little short because the ink does bleed a little bit. These are alcohol based, so they can be blended together. I don't do that a lot on the cartoon characters I draw. On the more natural characters and some of the couple of the Fortnite ones that I've drawn, those skins, I blend them together to give a little more shadowing or shading. But in this case, I'm just trying to get that color sneaked in there. So again, I'm just working right up to that line, rotating the paper to help make it easier to get that point in there. And There's some of the, getting the yellow in there. That little lightning bolt was tough. I think it turned out all right. It's just very lightly sketching that. And there's his hair. There too, just trying to draw it out. In this case, I drew it towards me to get out the points of to get at the points of the hair on Calvin's head, or Spaceman Spiff. So almost finished yet. Just got to add that blue and then a little purple to his laser gun yet. There's again the quarter for scale. And there's the blue. Just sneaking that in there. Trying not to let it bleed out side of the black lines. And working down the side of the little lightning bolt. And the other side. Almost there. And there's a scale for, or quarter for scale again. And then last here, I'm adding that little bit of purple onto the laser gun. And then I'll add the date, July 22 of 20. Again, thanks for watching.